Hello everyone, welcome to a very highly anticipated video. Today I'm going to be presenting you all of my M7 settings that I use. I get asked questions about different scenarios, different mods that I use, so in this video I'm going to be briefly going through most of them. And if I miss something, please let me know down in the comments. I'll try my best to answer everything. So we're going to start with probably the most asked question that I get. It's about the texture pack. So I'm going to be leaving the texture pack down below. The pack is called Prism 16x Refraction. I'm going to make a Mediafire link off of it. If you don't trust my Mediafire link, you can always just go search on the official video and it should be fine there. The only difference with this texture pack that I use and the official one is the hearts overlay right over here. I installed some fishes instead of the normal hearts because back in the day I used to fish a lot and I thought it was really nice. So that's the only difference. There's nothing else to it. It's just the hearts. The rest is the official pack. With that out of the way, we can now start presenting the mods that I use. Starting off with Skytills. I'll be leaving down below in the description links to all the official discords so you can download all these mods. I'm not going to leave my mods folder because I don't want anyone to accuse me of ratting anyone. Always only download mods from official sources. Never trust anyone. Never download mods from unknown sources because the risk of you losing your account is very high. So if we do /st over here, we are in the Skytills menu. We will start with the config. So I'm only briefly gonna go through these settings. You can pause the video if you want. So I'm just gonna note the most important ones. The first very important one is the dungeon timer over here and the Necron phase timer. You can also choose to have it in decimal seconds. This shows the timer of each phase in the Necron boss fight, which is very useful if you, especially if you're going for PB timing. You want to see where you can improve, you want to see where you were slow, so you can actually improve. For example, I use this a lot on blood camps, because that's how I know if my blood camp was good or not. Another very good setting is this one, box start mobs. Helps a lot for clear, especially if you are a new player and you don't know all the patterns and where the start mobs actually spawn, because it's actually quite simple. After a lot of runs, you actually get the hang of this and you basically remember where the started mobs spawn. So you could actually turn this off later on. Here's some other settings here that don't really have to do with M7. I'm just gonna leave them in here so you can actually copy them. They mostly have to do with M6, M4. But this is a very important one. These are actually two very important ones. Show Wither King's Dragon HP. You basically see the HP of a drag in front of you, which makes it easier to know if you split or not. And the timer, this is probably one of the only timers that actually work. SPE's one doesn't work, Badline Client's one doesn't work, Dolkir's one doesn't work. This is the only one that actually works, and I would recommend using this timer over any other timers. Another very important setting, especially for frames, is this one, Hide Dying Mobs. I would recommend you turning this on, especially for phase 2, because you actually see a big improvement there in frames if you turn this setting on. It basically doesn't render the dying animation of mobs, so you actually have better frames, which is very nice. Now for puzzle solvers, I've not actually used any of these Skytills solvers, but hey, they're here. You can use them if you don't have Skyblock Extras, which is the next mod I'm going to be presenting. You can also use these. I'm not sure how good they are. I don't personally use them because I own SBE, but as you all know, SBE is a paid mod, so not everyone has it. But you can also try these out. The solvers from Skytills that I actually use now are the terminal solvers. So this is first of all a very important setting. Middle click on terminals. Makes your terms be a bit faster than normal, because you don't get the animation of holding an item in your cursor, which actually slows down a bit your terminals depending on ping. And all the other terminal solvers as well, they are on here, as you can see. I don't actually have these ones because I don't use devs, so I'm not a healer, I don't solve devs. But the other terminal solvers are very good, they're the best in the game for sure. I've recently started using them and they're way better than SBEs, because up until today I was using SBEs solvers and they are far inferior than the SkyTales ones. With that being said, that's about it for SkyTales. There's a bunch of other settings here, but they don't really have to do with dungeons, and this video is only about dungeon settings. So now we're gonna go over the keybinds that I have. So on SkyTales, if you go to edit key shortcuts here, you can basically set up a bunch of shortcuts for different commands on different buttons of your keyboard. For example, I use a pets command, a wardrobe command, and a equipment command. I also use this command for easy pearls. Whenever I'm PB running, I need pearls. I can just press a button and get a stack of pearls in my inventory for my sacks. Also, this command helps a lot for just joining another M7 very fast, and just press a button and you're in the next run already. It's very nice. As you can see, if I just press a button, boom, we're in the wardrobe. If I press another button, we are in the equipment. We can just change our stuff very fast, as well as pets if here. This helps a lot because I can just swap to the pet I want very fast, especially in PB runs, which is very nice. That's about it for SkyTales. Now we're gonna go over Skyblock extras. So if you type in /SBE, we are in. We're gonna go to the dungeon section and let's see what mods I use. So we start off with the show dungeon profit. This shows me my profit in my chests. I think this is the best one in town from all the mods. Here we have two very important settings that I recommend everyone using. First of all is this show score approximation. This is probably again one of the best approximations out of all the mods. The second very important setting in here is the blood camp helper. This is a very highly asked setting. A lot of people ask what is my blood camp helper. It's this one from Skyblock extras. By far the best one in town and probably the only good one in town. The one in BLC is okay as well. It is acceptable. You can check out my video where I played on BLC to see how it looks. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was a bit off sometimes, but it did the job. This one is way more accurate and will get the job done perfectly. So I recommend using this one. And now for the SBE solvers here. These are the ones I use in puzzles. Although I don't think I've done a puzzle in about 3 months because I'm a mage. Mages don't do puzzles. So yeah, that's probably the reason I don't play other class. I don't recommend you using terminal solvers from SBE because SkyTales ones are way better. So that's about it for Skyblock extras. We're now gonna go on to the next mod. The next very important mod we're gonna talk about really briefly here is Patcher. Patcher is mostly a performance mod. It will only help your frames and nothing else really. Genuinely, I don't know why most of these things are on here. So I'm just gonna go like this, okay? I'm just gonna scroll down and you guys can copy my settings, alright? All I know is that my settings make my frames go really high compared to what they used to be without the mod. So I do recommend you using this mod. There's a lot of things here on this list. A lot of things. I don't know the explanation of everyone. Yeah, there's just a lot. Hey, you can customize this however you want. There's a lot of customizations possible in here. So you can also just experiment yourself with some settings. They should help. But that's about it for Patcher. Highly recommend using it because it really does increase your frames. The last mod I recommend using is Crash Patch. So a lot of M7 players experience a thing called crashing, mostly from two mods, Skyblock extras or NEU, especially now when you PV someone, when you want to check out their profile, your game will crash most of the times. This mod will prevent you from crashing most of the time. Sometimes it'll just freeze your game and you are gonna have to restart. The next mod is a very interesting one. It is called Chat Triggers, and it is required for the next two mods. You cannot use the next two mods if you don't have this one. Just install this mod, put it in your mod folder, and that's about it. After you've done that, you can use the next two mods. First one is Better Map, which is the map I use for dungeons. So, as you can see, you have the map right here on the right. You can put it wherever you want. It's arguably the best map in all the maps. It looks beautiful. It shows player heads. It shows secrets. It shows puzzles. It's perfect. All right, it's definitely the best map out there. I recommend using it. Again, I'm just gonna go down with my scroll here. You can copy my settings, guys. There's a lot of settings to be done over here. Continuing to go down the list here, we have a lot of other settings, and this is a very important setting that a lot of people ask about, and it is the box wither doors. Helps tremendously while blood rushing, because it basically shows where your wither door is without having to look at the map. This is a very highly asked mod, and a lot of people say it is a cheat, but I disagree, because it even says here, not ESP, loads door locations from map. Also, the secret waypoints here, these are the waypoints I use now. I used to use another mod, but I did get flamed a lot by using it, so I'm not gonna be even mentioning it in this video. And also this Spirit Leap overlay here, I recommend highly to use. And I feel like this is a necessity at this point to you have this enabled, because it's just so good. So that's about it for Better Map. The next mod I'm gonna briefly be talking about is Azure Client. Pretty helpful mod. I'm not using many of the things. I'm only using the terminal timers if I want to see my fastest ever terms. I think that's pretty cool. And I also use this, which shows my blessings on screen, which is very nice. You can see that on my videos. The last mod we're gonna be going through is Dulker's mod, a mod that a lot of people ask about. So as you can see, if I go out of F5, this is my HUD, and this is how my sword looks like. A lot of people don't know how to make your items like this, so all you have to do is type in /Dulker in this mod, and these are my settings right here of my Dulker mod. You can just copy them from this. Also from Dulker's, this is what I use. I use the skill box. It's the only M7 thing I use from this mod. So I think that will mark the end of this video. That's, I think, the most important settings that you need in order to play M7. And again, if you have even more questions, let me know. I will try to respond to as many in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.